Anticipation.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday, January 12th. We're here for board session. It's 9 a.m. in the Senator Hearing Room at 555 Court Street, Northeast in Salem. Oh my gosh, I feel like we have a full agenda today. But before we get into it, will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we get started with the agenda, I just want to say if there's anybody here for the public hearing that is scheduled for 9:30, it will start immediately after the board session, after we complete the regular board session. So, the first item of, public comment, we have none. I just can't really do the whole no-ny thing, sorry, Commissioner.
Hey, I just have
but I do think it in my head.
I have some of those issues. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
I have a niece named Noni. It always confuses me whenever Commissioner Cameron says Noni.
I have Noni signed up.
Oh, that's fun. Great. So our first item of business today is a presentation from Mr. Chris Epley.
I'm glad you even said the word. Influence.
Chair Bethel and Commissioners Willis and Cameron, thank you very much. My name is Chris Epley, for the record. I am the county's Community Development Division Director, and part of that includes long-term disaster recovery. So we are 16 months after the Labor Day wildfires, which seems like a long time in some ways, and in other ways it seems like it just happened yesterday. So, and this report will be brief and just give you some statistics. So these are the current dwelling permits that have been issued in terms of building permits by jurisdictions. You have Mill City and Marion County. We also track Lynn County because Mill City happens to span two counties. Gates also, Detroit, et cetera. So we are at around, if you count them all up, about 44% of recovery. So, and that's probably, in my guesstimate, the easy 44%. From this point, it will probably go slower, is my guess. So, especially during the winter, but it'll pick up again in the spring. And these are septic permit issues, or permits issued. And this is sort of a leading statistic in advance of the building permits. And so this is sort of an indicator of how many people are likely to get building permits going into the future. So we're, if you add those up, we're at about 58% of those who had their properties damaged have expressed some interest and taken some steps toward recovery. So some of these folks may not end up building back. Some may choose to just use their property for recreational purposes. This is information from ODOT. They have currently completed property cleanup of all wildfire debris on residential property up in the canyon, which is great, and that's per them. The second statistic there, the hazard tree removal piece, that is a static number at this point. I have not been able to get ODOT to provide additional information on that. My guess is that they've more or less slowed way down because of the winter in removing trees. So, and that will pick up again as soon as the weather clears. But at current, they are at about 75% complete with hazard tree removal. A lot of county-led recovery projects continuing. One is the housing issue, and there's a lot of activity occurring in relation to housing, recognizing that in order for those communities to recover, we need to be able to provide a place for survivors to go back to. There are currently 2 county-led projects, one in Gates, which will provide about 16 residential opportunities, and then one in North Santiam Park, which will also provide 16 residential opportunities. Those permits have been submitted, and the process is continuing to move forward, and we're hoping to see groundbreaking and activity taking place in 2022, probably closer to the spring. So, and then septic repair and replacement. The county received funding from the legislature of about $50 million, and that money is partly going toward planning a sanitary sewer system up in the Detroit-Idana area, but a piece of that is going to be used for repair and replacement of septic systems in Detroit and Idana. Mostly in Detroit. There weren't very many septic systems damaged in Idana. And two pieces of that include both the residential side, which will sort of be a separate program, and then figuring out a way to get the downtown business district up and going again. And that'll be a separate sort of concerted effort. And Public Works, through Brian Nicholas, is working heavily on that piece. There is also an additional $15 million that the state has made available for septic repair and replacement throughout the state. It is not specific to wildfire damaged areas, but some of that will come to the Detroit-Idana area, and Public Works is looking at spinning up a program to apply for some of that funding and use it specifically for Marion County. Those funds are through DEQ. The Community Development Block Grant, which the county applied for almost immediately after the wildfires, which was used to stand up our recovery efforts, hire a long-term recovery manager, and then enter into a series of studies listed here, including economic impact, a behavioral health impact assessment that was performed by Oregon State University, a series of visioning and strategic planning projects for both Gates and Detroit, and then developing a communication strategy and standing up a web page and to produce periodic newsletters. That grant has been expended, and as of last month, we closed it out. So our first step toward actually moving past some of the initial efforts has been completed. And then I wanted to start putting some of this information in for you as well. The Long-Term Recovery Group, or LTRG, is a not-for-profit group that is taking the lead on a lot of case management and working directly with survivors. They coordinate heavily with the Santiam Service Integration Team, or SIT, and they're working together. So just a couple of pieces of information. I've asked them to provide both statistics and any interesting news that has occurred. And the big one that I see here is that a radio station out of Staten, KYAC FM, just got their license upgraded to 500 watts, which will allow them to project all the way up into the Detroit-Idana area. And so they're working with Detroit to get a repeater located on the new water tower when it gets built. And then that radio station could actually become a source for early warning of disasters and news associated with conditions. So that's good news. That currently doesn't exist up in that area. So anyway, that was something that was shared. And then in addition to that, 2 additional case managers started in mid-December. There are currently 225 households assigned to case managers, an additional 85 on a waiting list. They're hoping that with the new case managers in place, the waiting list may come down to about 25. My understanding is that there has been some additional turnover since the writing of this report. So, they continue to fluctuate in the number of case managers they have. So the point here being there are a lot of folks currently working with SIT and the LTRG to get their needs met. And that will be ongoing for a long time.
Chris, do you know if that 225 is combined of the DHS case managers and the SIT case managers?
I believe that's just SIT.
Can you get me a number on what DHS is case managing?
I don't know if I can get you that number. They're very hesitant to provide that kind of information.
We have a release. Jan has it. We'll get it.
Perhaps,
if I have to chase it down, I will, but I feel confident that you could get it.
Okay, we will attempt to get that number for you,
Okay,
and I'll work with
thank you.
Jan on that. So I have actually been surprised at how much information I've asked for that I have been blocked from receiving from various groups. FEMA will not allow us to know, for instance, how many projects they have underway in Marion County or how much funding they have committed to different projects, et cetera. So they're very, very serious about protecting individual people's and communities' privacy rights. And so struggling with that a little bit, but we'll see if we can break through some of those barriers.
Yeah, I respect the need to protect privacy, but I might have some information that those families want, and I need to get access to them.
Got it.
So
Okay.
DHS needs to be supportive of that, I think.
In addition, the LTRG is going to increase their efforts to put out information on social media platforms and are, in addition to that, looking to start developing podcasts, which is kind of neat. So they're really trying to reach out on all media platforms to get information out to the survivors. In addition, they have contracted with Project LTD, which was the communications group that the county contracted with to develop our communication strategy, to do ongoing communications efforts, keep the web page up and going, and produce newsletters. And that's it, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do you have any questions, Commissioner Cameron?
And just, yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I think something would be really interesting, Chris, and I see Brandon just walked in and Lindsay's here, and when does, it's great to see all the permits that have been applied for. When does a house officially go back on the tax rolls? Is it upon completion, a final? And I think we might want to start tracking that information as well.
Okay.
Not only the permits that have been pulled, but how many have actually been built and people have finalized and
Right.
back to normal.
That's an excellent point. There are a lot fewer homes that have been built than have had building permits applied for. And when somebody applies for a building permit, they have a fairly large amount of time before they have to begin building. So
Sure.
that
So I think
recovery,
that would be
yeah.
a good one. You know, as I drive back and forth, I see a lot of people moving back into homes, but it'd be interesting to know what that percentage is. And then the second thing, you did say 50 million that we got, or 40 million, whatever it was, and just wanted to make sure that anybody that was listening, that 40 million of that is going down to Gates and Mill City for their sewer system, and the 10 million is being carved out to help with further engineering and designing the Main Street sewer system, et cetera. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your update. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Willis?
I don't have any questions. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Have a great day. All right, moving on to consent calendar. We have no items today, so we'll go right into action items. Excuse me. Under business services, we're going to hear today from Terry Stoner and Jeffrey Bonney, if they'll come right up, to consider approval of the purchase order with TK Elevator Corporation in the amount of $251,731 for the Courthouse Square Elevator Upgrade Project through December 31, 2022.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For the record, Terry Stoner, Manager of Facilities Management.
Jeff Bonney, Facilities Analyst.
So I want to first point out on the agenda that you have, the elevator we're talking about is at Courthouse, not Courthouse Square. It says Courthouse Square, but that's a typo, so.
Oh, that's helpful. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I want to point that out first. This is for the elevator, the AIC elevator that they use at the courthouse for the AICs to take to courts for their court proceedings. Basically, it was built in 1954. It's original, and so it is basically way past its time frame for being replaced. We do have an approved CIP for this, and so we are asking for approval to move forward with a contract with TK Elevator to get it upgraded.
Thank you. And before we move on, AIC is Adults in Custody, for those that don't know our fun acronyms here in the county.
Thank you, sorry about that.
No problem. And Jeffrey, did you have anything to add?
And just to add that part of what's happening here is because these elevators are so old, they're not malfunctioning at this time, but were something to go wrong, we can't get the parts to replace them at all anymore. So part of this process is bringing up to modern standards with equipment that can be maintained quickly and easily.
Thank you.
Those are old elevators.
I haven't been in them, thankfully.
Yeah, well, it's like you're not sure if you're going to come out again afterwards. You know?
I'm just saying, I've never been an adult in custody, so I've never had to be transported in one, and I'm not a deputy. Commissioner Cameron?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, all right, I'll take a motion.
right.
Commissioner Willis?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the purchase order with TK Elevator Corporation in the amount of $251,731 for the Courthouse Square Elevator Upgrade Project. Sorry, the Courthouse Elevator Upgrade Project. Thank you. Through December 31st, 2022.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Go. Moving on, same team, great.
Same team.
All right, we're here to consider approval of the purchase order with TK Elevator Corporation in the amount of $107,512.89 for the Marion County Jail Elevator Upgrade Project through December 31, 2022.
So this one isn't quite as old. It was built in 1987, but it is original from 1987. So it just is due for the upgrades, safety upgrades along with equipment. So we're asking for approval to move forward on the contract with TK Elevator for this one also.
Great, nothing to add?
Nothing to add.
Okay. Well, I was going to give this motion to Commissioner Cameron, but he's busy, so would you please go ahead and do it?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, I was seeking counsel over here.
I know, I was patiently waiting, but I thought.
And you know me well enough that I need a lot of counsel. All right. So, Madam Chair, I will move approval of the purchase order with TK Elevator Corporation in the amount of $107,512.89 for Marion County Jail Elevator Upgrade Project through December 31st, 2022.
And I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, the motion passes. Have a
Thank you
great-
very much.
Thank you, have a
you.
great day.
She advised me to move the motion, is what the council was about.
You need to talk to council about
Good
that.
job.
Okay, what's the next one?
Thank you. All right, so now we're going to move on to Human Resources to consider approval of the contract for services with Brown & Brown of Oregon LLC, DBA Brown & Brown Northwest, in the amount of $101,489.94 to provide insurance, broker, and consulting services for Marion County's employee benefits through December 31, 2022. And it looks like we've got Kathy and,
Justin Ford from Marion County Finance.
thank you. Please introduce yourself.
Kathy Carter with Employee Benefits with Human Resources.
Would you pull that microphone just a little closer? Thank you.
Do I have to repeat?
Nope.
No, okay, good.
Yeah. So I don't know, Michelle is not here, so who am I punching to?
Right, Michelle was not able to come this morning, so she sent me.
Okay, well,
Okay.
welcome.
So, good morning, Commissioners. We are here today to ask for approval for the continuation of our contract with Brown & Brown Northwest. They are an insurance broker for Marion County Health and Welfare Plans. This contract includes, here's the list, health, dental, life, disability, all our flexible spending accounts, our employee assistance programs, and our COBRA and retiree health plan administrators. So they take care of all of that for us, or getting us in the right direction and getting information for us. They provide comprehensive services, including the annual reviews of our plans, which includes plan designs, cost analysis, and actuarial services. So when we sit down with our HIS committee, which is our Health Insurance Study Committee annually, they take part in that, and they attend every meeting with us. So they're guiding us through that and providing more information about basically where we should go with it, with our plan designs. And they have their own actuarial services department. So they can look at our plans, and the insurance company will come back with a proposal, and Brown & Brown will say, wait, no. And so they will, because of their additional negotiations that they did this year, they had an overall savings, annual savings this year of $237,000, which they saved the county. So our current contract was originally approved in December of 2019. Today's approval request reflects an annual increase of 3% in the cost of services. We are very happy with their services we receive from them, and our dedicated team provides a depth of experience, knowledge, and in our ever-changing benefit world, because we have a lot of rules we have to follow. So, and they provide a lot of help with that. So they're familiar with our local environment, which is important because public entity is different than most other types of companies. So, and they have that in-depth experience. And-
Justin?
For me, I'm here to support them from a financial side, procurement. Just to answer any questions you may have. We actually have an exemption from Marion County Public Procurement Rules 50-0150 for employee benefits. But we, however, did our due diligence back in 2019, and we did an RFP. And Brown & Brown was awarded on this, and it was for a multi-year contract. So this, although it looks like an annual contract, we're using their template, but it is actually spans over roughly about 5 years.
So how often do you do RFPs on something like this?
Well, that's up until 2019. I don't think we had necessarily done that because we used the exemption. Around that time, we started shifting towards less exemptions and starting going towards more RFPs if we could. So we're trying to make sure that we're staying in check with our vending community and making sure they're available to our opportunities instead of just relying on an exemption and staying with the people we always have. So we're trying to do a lot better job of that in the last few years.
Great, that makes me happy to hear, thank you.
I thought that it might.
You must be following board sessions.
Every Wednesday.
I love it. Okay, I'll take a motion. Commissioner Willis?
All right. Madam Chair, I move that we approve the contract for services with Brown & Brown of Oregon, LLC, DBA Brown & Brown Northwest, in the amount of $101,489.94 to provide insurance broker and consulting services for Marion County's employee benefits through December 31st, 2022.
Second.
I'll make the second, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. Thank you, Kathy and Justin, for your time today.
Thank you.
Before I move on to the next item, for those that are coming for the public hearing at 9:30, if you wish to speak today, there is a public hearing sign-up form over there that we'll need you to complete prior to doing so. Now we'll move on to item number 5. Mr. Kissinger, if you'd join us, please. Under Public Works, consider approval of the incoming funds purchase agreement with Morel Logging LLC in the amount of $285,503.38 for the sale of recovered timber at Niagara Park.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Tom Kissinger, Parks Program Supervisor for Marion County, seeking approval today for an incoming funds purchase agreement with Morel Logging for the recovered timber from Niagara Park. A little bit of background, in September 2020, the Beach Creek wildfire swept through Niagara Park. Initial estimates were about 90% tree loss at the site. Immediately after the fires, ODOT began removing hazard trees that were affecting the right-of-way, and then we entered into an intergovernmental agreement with ODOT to continue that logging for removing hazard trees within the park boundary itself. At this point, they've removed most of the trees. There's a few left that have to we gotta go back and do a second assessment. But in order to, a lot of those logs have been kind of sitting in the rain for about 18 months now, or 16 months. So we kind of want to get those to a mill in order to maintain the value. So we put out a timber sale in October of 2021, and on November 19th, 2021, 5 bids were received, and Morel Logging was the highest responsive bidder at $285,503.38. And this agreement will allow them to begin removing that timber and taking it to a mill.
And doing what with it? Removing it and what?
Removing it and taking it to a mill.
Okay. Any questions?
Sounds good to me.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yeah.
So, Tom, when did this work, is the work started?
The work has not started. It will begin, they're actually itching and ready to go. So as soon as we get this signed contract back, we'll get it signed with them. And then we'll have a pre-construction meeting probably sometime next week, and that hauling will begin as soon as possible.
Okay. I noticed one of our parks is having a lot of timber removed, the one right outside of Gates.
Minto?
Minto.
So Minto was originally set up as a holding site for our timber and some private property owners
Okay.
in the area. So the timber that's been coming out of there is private property owners.
Okay. They were in there this morning when I drove down, so.
Yep.
All right, Madam Chair, I'll move that, if you're ready for a motion.
I am,
We
please,
approve the
thank you.
incoming funds purchase agreement with Morel Logging LLC in the amount of $285,205 for the sale of 38 cents for the sale of recovered timber at Niagara Park.
A second motion.
All right, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Thank you, Tom, for all your
Thank
work
you.
on this.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right, and still under Public Works, Mr. Crowther, please join us with your colleague to consider approval of the public improvement agreement with North Star Electrical Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $2,597,309, of which an estimated $947,981 will be paid with federal funds. An estimated $1,808,819 will be paid by Marion County, and an estimated $43,200 will be paid by the City of Salem for the construction of the Traffic Signal Interconnects project.
All right, good morning. For the record, Ryan Crowther, Marion County Capital Projects Manager. Today I'm here with Steve Presler, Project Engineer. He'll actually lead us through kind of the background on the project, so I'll let him do most of the presentation today.
Great, please do introduce yourself for the record.
Steve Presler, Public Works.
Great.
Okay, the map on the slide here shows the area that we're going to be interconnecting signals and then also connecting some county facilities. It starts on North Lancaster, goes out Silverton Road to the Public Works office, where we'll bring the fiber to the building there at Public Works to connect to our data center. From there, it goes down Cordon Road to the city's Mill Creek signal. On the way, it's going to go out to the Almsville Sheriff's Facility. Between Public Works Data Center and Almsville, there's going to be 92-strand fiber, a direct connection between those facilities. And then at Center Street, we're going to connect the Health Juvenile Center to the city's fiber. At Silverton West, we're going to go from 17th Street from the city's fiber to the health facility there on Silverton, just east of 17th. And then downtown, we're going to connect Courthouse Square to the city's fiber at State and 12th Street. And what that'll do is that'll connect all those buildings, in addition to interconnecting the signals, connect all
Can
those.
you talk a little louder?
Yeah, and
Thanks.
sorry, this mask I think is covering.
You can
up.
take it off to speak in public if you'd like. That'd be great, thanks.
There. So what that'll do is that'll connect the buildings in the county facilities to the city's fiber, and we'll be able to connect to the internet through that fiber, as well as connect all the signals along those corridors so that they can be more efficiently run and have better timing.
So, and to add one thing, for those that don't know, the city actually maintains our signals, and they have a signal operations center where they can, and help me out, basically time all the signals together, including theirs, ours, and so that's why we want to connect into their data center, so that all the signals within the area can run efficiently together.
Good to know, Mr. Chair. Mr. Cameron. You can still be the chair, I guess.
Good former chair. Hard to forget, I get it.
I know it is.
What about Kaiser? What about Kaiser Signals and the relationship to Salem and us?
I have seen City of Salem trucks dealing with Kaiser Signals, so I believe
yeah.
that they have the same partnership to some degree. I only know that because there was a signal out recently, and there was a City of Salem truck in Kaiser, and I thought that to be odd, but it makes sense.
I think that's right, and I think that they can see those from the data center as well.
Okay, thank you.
Are you
Thank you,
asking
Madam
because you want
Chair.
to lodge a complaint?
No,
I mean, I have a signal like series that I'd like to have fixed. Now I know who to call. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Is that all for your presentation? No.
Oh, there's
Okay,
not
that's
quite yet.
Very pretty.
We're just getting started here.
Oh, good to know. Okay, I'll get comfortable.
So actually, that was a lot of my presentation, unfortunately. Direct fiber optic connection between Public Works Data Center and Sheriff's Almsville facility, in addition to connecting all those signals. And then fiber optic connections to Courthouse Square, Center Street Health Juvenile Campus, and the Health Silverton Road facility. So next slide.
Can I actually want to ask a question about the sheriff's office. So, so this is basically like a street connection, or is this going to upgrade the property in general with fiber so they can have
it
a
is.
larger reach and more?
That's right. So starting from North Lancaster, where there's fiber at the Hayesville signal, city fiber, it's going to connect to Public Works, and then there'll be a dedicated connection between Public Works and the sheriff So all of that area all of those facilities will be connected to city fiber.
Wow. That's a
Chair
long,
Bethel,
yes.
we've been working on this project from the county as well. I mean, while it's a stoplight function for you, it actually interconnects all of Marion County network. Plus it links up to Salem, so it has a redundancy and a backup if one goes down. So I think, it's a very worthwhile project for both the city as well as Marion County, traffic lights as well as IT network too.
I think it's super exciting. On the IT side of things, my thought process going along with a building out there that I'd like to see come to fruition, and right now it doesn't have particular access to fiber or internet really. So I'm hoping this will help increase that opportunity. Great, thanks. I'll follow up more later with Jan, but this is exciting.
Okay, good. So as you might expect with all these funding sources, there's a lot of different pots of money being pulled together here. We're getting federal funding for interconnecting signals. It's not covering all of that, but it's covering a decent chunk of it. We're using road fund money as well for connecting signals. $1,153,328 in addition to the $947,981 in federal funds. General fund is pitching in $339,900 to connect county facilities, as is health for connecting the Silverton Road facility. And then City of Salem is providing match for their portion of the project, and I should mention their portion of the project goes from McKay Road down to the Mill Creek signal.
Okay.
McClay Road, sorry.
I was really trying to figure out where that road
Yeah,
was.
sorry.
Maybe it's up by the high school, I don't know.
McClay Road.
Okay.
So the low bid was from North Star in the amount of $2,597,309. And our recommendation is to award the contract to North Star to complete this, we think, worthwhile project.
So, according to your slide, this is gonna happen this year. Like this whole project, all of these things, in less than 12 months?
That is a time frame in our contract. I know there have been some concerns about the term.
That CIP project has been approved for the last 5 years, so I'm happy to see it all completed in once.
Oh, good, okay. Well, I'm optimistic. Let's get it done.
So the only I think caveat there is we're seeing on a lot of projects supply chain issues,
Yes.
particularly with signals. So if we'll have to see how that plays out, I think.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions? All right, I'll take a motion.
My turn.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the public improvement agreement with North Star Electrical Contractors in the amount of $2,597,309, of which an estimated $947,981 will be paid with federal funds. An estimated $1,808,819 will be paid by Marion County, and an estimated $43,200 will be paid by the City of Salem for the construction of the traffic signal interconnects project.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second the motion.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Yay, Jan.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now I'm going to recess the general board meeting and open a public hearing. And again, if you're here to speak towards the public hearing, please sign up for public comment over on that table. And, they're deliberating in the back. So under Public Works, if Lindsay and Brandon are both going to come up, super. We're going to, public hearing to consider zone change, comprehensive plan amendment ZCCP case number 21-005 in Shannon Ridge Property Owners Association. Oh, just kidding, Brandon's not going to come up. Just Lindsay.
Just me today.
Not just.
He's kind of like me to you.
Okay.
I'm right here.
That's perfect. Oh, there's a whole party.
Or you to me, depending on who's got what.
I don't, you can go ahead, Lindsay.
You want me to
like
go
it's
ahead?
gonna be- Yes, please. Just
Okay.
speak loud and clear into the mic so everybody can hear.
All right. Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, this is Lindsay King, Marion County Planning. This item before you today is an application to change the comprehensive plan designation from primary agriculture to rural residential with an exception to Goal 3, ag lands, and to change the zone from exclusive farm use to acreage residential on approximately 7.29 acres of an 85.6 acre parcel in the 2700 block of an Enchanted View Lane, southeast Salem. The subject property is outside of the Salem city limits and not within a Salem urban growth boundary. The property is located on the east side of I-5, approximately 640 feet east of the intersection with Enchanted Way Southeast. Properties surrounding the large parcel are primarily agriculture or acreage residential, with a portion to the east that is exclusive farm use and connects to a large area of exclusive farm use. The subject property is an undeveloped farm parcel. The hearings officer conducted a public hearing on July 29, 2021, and on October 29, 2021, issued a recommendation that the board approve the request. The hearings officer found that the applicant satisfied all the relevant approval criteria for an exception to Goal 3, a comprehensive plan amendment, and a zone change. The applicant is seeking both a comprehensive plan amendment and a zone change. The zone change is dependent upon obtaining the comprehensive plan amendment. Therefore, if the applicant fails to obtain a comprehensive plan amendment, then it cannot obtain the proposed zone change. The property is designated as primary agriculture, which means that the property is ag land. In order to change the comprehensive plan and zone designation to allow for residential use, the applicant must obtain an exception to statewide planning Goal 3, agricultural land. State law provides 3 types of goal exceptions that may be taken: physically developed, irrevocably committed, and reasons exceptions. The applicant is seeking a reasons exception. In order to approve the reasons exception, it must be established that there is a need for rural housing. This need must be based on commercial or industrial uses in the immediate area that rely on rural housing that the urban areas cannot provide. Beginning on page 8 of the hearings officer recommendation, the hearings officer discusses the Goal 3 exception and concludes that in this instance, the criteria are satisfied. The hearings officer then reviewed all the applicable comprehensive plan policies and zone change criteria and concluded that the policies and criteria are met and recommends the approval, subject to conditions listed in the hearings officer report. Since that recommendation came out, the Department of Land Conservation and Development has provided comments and identified additional information that should be included in the record before the county make a decision. Specifically, DLCD states in their letter that the record should include evidence, facts, and findings that 1, quantify how the rural and industrial and commercial activity in the area has created a need for large lot residential housing, and 2, demonstrate why the proposed type and density of housing requires the proposed location on resource land. Staff believes this information is important to be in the record before the county decision is made. The board could take the testimony on this information today. However, to provide the applicant time and to provide any additional information and to the board and to provide the board a legal analysis of how this information satisfies applicable statutes and rules before making its decision, staff recommends this hearing be kept open and the application be remanded back to the hearings officer for additional evidence and findings related to the contents of DLCD's letter. Staff can work with the hearings officer to expedite this hearing process. And we did receive a confirmation from the applicant that they would support that yesterday prior to the 5 p.m. deadline. However, this morning the applicant sent an email and they may be requesting the board make a decision today instead of remanding it back to the hearings officer. The board, however, has the option of continuing the public hearing, close the hearing and leave the record open, close the hearing and approve, modify, or deny, or, as mentioned above, remand the matter back to the hearings officer. I'll be happy to try to answer any questions for you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Lindsay?
I do, Madam Chair, if I may. I just saw well, I didn't just see it, but in reviewing the decision of the hearings officer, there's also discussion of an irrevocably committed exception.
That was changed to reasons.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Shannon? Nope. Okay, so I would like to invite up testimony in support right now, and then we'll, after that, go to opposition. So first on my list is Mr. Mark Shipman. And before I get through this list and try to call you all off, I apologize. Not all the names are super legible to me, so I'm going to do my best to get through them.
Some are probably doctors, Madam Chair.
Probably, or pharmacists. So please introduce yourself for the record.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair. For the record, my name is Mark Shipman. I'm a land use attorney with Sawfield Griggs, 250 Church Street, Suite 200, Salem, Oregon 97301. Here this morning on behalf of the Enchanted Ridge Property Owners Association, which is the applicant in this case. The property owner is actually the Updegrave Trust. They own the property. The HOA is under contract with the Updegrave Trust to buy this property, assuming this application is approved. The goal here, as indicated by staff, is to seek and obtain comprehensive plan change, zone change, and exceptions to the statewide planning goals. We believe that the hearings officer came to the right conclusion in recommending approval of this request, but there needs to be clarification in our findings. For example, I think staff and the hearings officer assumed that we were going just for a reasons exception, but we actually were going for two different exceptions. We're going for exceptions in the alternative. We believe that we do satisfy the exceptions for an irrevocably committed exception as identified in our application and as identified in our testimony before the hearings officer. But we also, in the alternative, feel that we satisfy a reasons exception as well. Now, which one's the stronger one? I believe irrevocably committed is much more stronger because, frankly, that's what was approved back in 1973 when Bud Updegrave got approval to put in 40 lots for this development in 1973. In 1980, the county reaffirmed the irrevocably committed exception to the statewide planning goals with respect to the Enchanted Ridge subdivision area. What we're seeking is that there's some gap properties. There's gap properties that is east of Valley View Way and one that is off of Enchanted Ridge Court that are two small areas that distinctly are impracticable to be farmed. We're not saying that the primary portion of the property can't be farmed. It can. But what this application does is it allows the HOA to essentially control who's farming that property, how they're farming that property, and making sure that it's being farmed in a sustainable manner that is consistent with the residential houses that are around it. Now, I realize that DLCD doesn't like that argument, but frankly, I don't agree with DLCD on this, and I don't agree with the previous two letters that they've written. We feel that right now with them, I kind of feel like it's whack-a-mole. We provide an argument to them, they don't like it. We provide another argument, they don't like it. I just feel like at this point, we've provided substantial evidence in the record to support our approval for this unique application. Now, I'm not suggesting that the board take a wholesale approach and treat all comp plan zone change cases like this, going from EFU to AR. I'm not recommending that. I am stating for this unique application, for this unique property, and this unique circumstance, it is an unusual development in Marion County. We all acknowledge that, and this is an unusual application. It should be approved. So the hearings officer agreed with us that we satisfied all the criteria for the comprehensive plan change, zone change, and for the goal exceptions. I would recommend that you approve this decision this morning, close the hearing, and allow us to work with Brandon and Lindsay to come back to you with appropriate findings in an order for you to approve. We also support, if the board finds that you don't feel like you have enough evidence to support the goal exception application, then remand it back to the hearings officer. We're okay with that. That's not our preference. That's not our desire. I don't believe that you need to do that. I think you have enough evidence in the record. and we can revise the findings accordingly. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have related to the application. The applicant's representative, Don Lule, is here in attendance. If you have any specific questions of him for the HOA, there's also a number of owners in the subdivision that are here in attendance as well in support of this application. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Mr. Shipman, thank you, Madam Chair. This is two home sites, or three would be?
There's a total of 3 home sites, Commissioner Willis. We originally had filed for 4. The HOA got together and they decided that 4 was too many and that they only wanted to seek 3. There's a property owner to the west of this property that was in opposition to 4, supports 3. Staff had previously found that we satisfied all the criteria for 4, but now we're going to 3. I would say that we satisfied even more so.
And for these 3 home sites, they're hilly and difficult to farm, is that correct? Like, it's, and the materials I recall, it's like, you can't farm these 3 home sites.
You can't really farm these pieces. They've not been farmed. They're difficult. There's a letter in the file from Dorfler Farms. The Dorfler, Kent, Kevin, and Amy own the property under K2A to the east of this property on the valley floor. And they used to farm this property, but after a while, because of the houses that came in and just the topography of the property, especially on the east, it's just too steep to farm. It's too steep, it's too close with respect to the roads, with respect to public improvements. And then, so that's the one gap property. The other gap property is kind of in the northwestern portion of the development, and it's got, I believe it has an extremely large sequoia tree in the middle of the property that prevents it from being effectively farmed. And I think the members of the HOA would prefer to keep the tree. So those are the 2 areas that we're looking at. They're very purposeful, very distinct with respect to why we chose those areas.
Okay, and then you said this would also allow the HOA to control the type of farming near it. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it would, because right now, the trust is, they go out and they try to find whatever tenant farmer they can with respect to come in. The HOA has no say with respect to who's farming that, how they're farming it, what they're farming it to. The HOA, what this would enable the HOA to do is to actually buy the property and then hold, they would sell off those gap portions to a residential developer. They would then be able to take and essentially be able to lease out the farmland to a tenant farmer that they choose and that they could work with respect to how they want that farmed, what they want it farmed with. There's been problems with some of the tenant farmers with respect to how they access the farm, some are more conscientious than others with respect to how they spray, how they fertilize, with respect to, some will take great care with respect to ensuring that the roads are maintained and they're kept up. Others don't give a rip, and they're gonna drag rocks and dirt and debris and other things across the roads for the HOA then to have to deal with. That tenant farmer isn't concerned with that. It's a small piece. It's 79 acres. It's surrounded by a lot of really nice single-family homes that I think not every farmer is excited to go in on. It takes a unique farmer that's willing to farm a small insular piece like that in order to feel like they can make a profit.
Great, thank you.
Commissioner Cameron? Just a second, please.
I'm good. For right now.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Shipman. We may call you back up, but for now, we're going to move on to Mrs. Karen Stats,
Thank you.
if that's right.
I wasn't expecting to speak. I was just coming here to.
Okay.
Just may go down the list and see if
Okay,
there's
so
any.
I'm just going to go down the list and call you, and if you want to present, you can come up. Next would be Chris Stats.
I'm Chris Stats, and I'm just here in support. We're
If you want to speak, we'll need you to come to the microphone and introduce yourself for the record, list your address, and provide any comments for all to hear. Thank you.
I'm Chris Statz. I live at 8235 Enchanted Ridge Court, and my wife and I are here in support of moving forward on this, but I'm not prepared to speak in any other way.
Okay, thank you. Next, I'm gonna not probably get the last name right. Is it Ben Couric?
I'm Bev Carrick, and I live at 8226 Enchanted Ridge Court in Turner. My husband and I moved into the development in the year 2000. We were one of the first homes in the development. And the reason we moved there was because we loved the farmland. And we liked the idea of having the open space there. For several years, the land didn't progress, but finally the development started moving on and more homes were built. And that's when the farmers began to tell us that it was harder to farm. And truthfully, the development doesn't seem complete with the two gap lots on Valley Way and the lot on Enchanted Ridge, which happens to be right next to my house. In 2019, we formed our neighborhood association, and I have been the secretary treasurer. We took a vote of our neighborhood, and 100% are in favor of making this zone change. When the original landowners passed away and it was left to their trust, we decided that it was a good idea for us to purchase this land. And as Mark mentioned earlier, then we would be able to have control over what is planted out there. Several months ago, there was an incident further down from our development about a hemp plant going in, and we were effective in stopping that. And so we just want to protect our property and our values by being able to control what is planted on the farmland. So as I see it, this is going to be a triple win if you approve this. It's a win for our association, for the farmers, and for the county. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and then is it MF Carrick? Yes. Are you going to come to the microphone and speak? Yes, I will. Great, thank you. Please introduce yourself for the record and provide your address.
Michael Carrick, 8226 Enchanted Ridge Court, Turner. I just wanted to emphasize what my wife was just talking to, and in particular to Mr. Willis, because we, like I say, we've been there more than 20 years. And the two gap houses were the houses where the gap was, leading to the east. The farming property was also continued down there, but that part was sold off. And so nobody's farming where the two gap houses were because of the steep part of the thing. And we're the house right next to the third lot with more than one sequoia. I think there's 4 or 5 in a big grove there. So they don't farm that. So as my wife mentioned, we're extremely concerned if we don't have control of who farms that and what. They could come in and they could put hemp. Right now, the grass seed doesn't require irrigation. And if somebody comes in with a crop that has to be irrigated, it could lower the water table for all of us who are on a well right down in there. And secondly, they could put in who knows what kind of crop, hemp or something. So we are quite concerned that the control of what the farmer does there. Our plan is to have them continue as they have for 20 years with grass seed or maybe oats. We've been there and seen the plants, and it's beautiful, beautiful farming country. So that's the gist of why we would like to be in control of that land. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And then next I have, is it Jerry Seher? And there's not actual support or opposition marked.
Sears.
Sears?
Yeah, store.
Okay, are you in support of the?
Yeah, I'm in support.
Great, I'll fix that, and if you can come to the microphone, please.
It's not spelled like a store though.
Name's Jerry Sears, live at 8478 Valley Southeast. I'm here to support the sale of the 3 properties for the farmland so we can take control and control what farmers come in there. I'm just in complete support of this. So thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Don Lule, would you like to speak?
That list went that quick.
I'm sorry, what's that?
You
I
can
didn't
take
know
that
that
off
list
when-
went that.
The one good rule is you can take that off.
While
I
you're
can?
public speaking.
Oh, well, this is wonderful, all right.
Look at that whole face.
Or when you're drinking.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we won't
Okay,
talk
that's a
about that.
conversation for later.
That's another conversation.
Keep this meeting in order, yep.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Don Lule. My wife and I, Teresa, live at 8388 Valley Way. We've lived there. We built that home 5 or 6 years ago. We bought in that neighborhood specifically for the surrounding area of having the farms, gated community, and we love it. It's just a beautiful area. Right shortly after that, we, the HOA, we formed an HOA and took it over from Tom Wheeler, who was managing it for the Up to Grade family. So since that time, we formed the HOA. We formed a board. I am the president of the HOA, and so I've been fairly active in every aspect of this property, of this neighborhood. So pretty much everything that's been said already previously, I don't want to repeat a lot of it. I reiterate, so I can firsthand talk about the farmers. I'm the one that's been working, getting farmers to lease this property for the church. So the church, we were very blessed, very fortunate. The church came to us and says, would you like to buy this property? So it was a perfect opportunity. So yes, everybody voted on it, so that we want the opportunity. Now, how are we going to pay for it? What are we going to do with the gap lots? Because the farmers don't want to farm them. I mean, I've had to, in negotiating with the farm, trying to find, I probably went through 4 or 5 different farmers to farm this property because it's small. The only access is basically through our gated area, which is only a 20-foot opening, and so you can imagine big, heavy equipment coming through there in and out has been kind of cumbersome also. These gap lots, I've made it a requirement, trying to find farmers that say, we want these properties also farmed. Well, those farmers, most farmers, I have one farmer that actually agreed to a discounted lease just to take the property so we can at least maintain it, because it sat dormant for over a year, which didn't help the crop. So again, not getting into farming and all that kind of stuff, it is what we love to look at. We all bought into it. We know what we have. We're familiar with tractors coming and going, trucks coming and going, harvesting, spraying. What's been difficult is we have no control on it. And by owning it, we can control the farmers. So far, I've been able to control the current farmer that we have, which has been very fortunate. These gap lots, they have been farming them to a certain degree, but it costs them money to farm it. Between cleanup, running equipment across the roads, we did an assessment a few years ago and just did a bunch of major street improvements to fix all the roads that were destroyed from the farmers in the past, and then turn around and have the farmers cross in the designated areas we've tried to designate for the tractors and things that go across, to only turn around and do damage to the roads again, which just happened. It's very unfortunate. The farmer doesn't mean anything of it. He's out there with these shovels and scrapes and trying to clean up the gravel, but how do you fix the broken asphalt and everything else that's already been repaired? So back to that is by this whole process of zone changing, pulling those 3 lots, these 3 gap pieces of property would put all the homes in harmony together, lines them all up. We don't have tractors running over to try to farm these small little weird properties. And at the end result is we're controlling the farm. The complete farm is controlled and owned by the HOA. Is it a profit center? No. It's at the time we pay taxes and improvements and things that we got to do, that lease amount itself will just basically cover that. So it's really not a profit. So why would anybody else want to buy it? It's perfect for what we do, and we believe that the Up to Grade family's vision was always for, when this property got fully filled, all 23 build sites were full, the intentions of always, this is what we've been told, and I kind of knew the Up to Grade family in the past, was always for the HOA to own this property. and here we are. We've been offered it. Opportunity is, let's continue, let's buy it, and let's try to get this, these 3 parcels zoned off, partitioned off, and build 3 more beautiful homes, and we've got a beautiful farmland within our neighborhood. You guys have any questions?
I don't know.
Nope.
Good?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, and finally, signed up in support is Chuck Woodard. Great, go ahead and come on forward. Introduce yourself, name, and address for the record.
Sure. Chuck Woodard, 8128 Valley Way. I support this in the fact that we've got young children and we really want to control the pesticides or what may be used on the farm fields, and that's probably my primary reason for being here. And I think you should support it too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and we'll move on for testimony in opposition, and we have one individual signed up, Ken Coble.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm at 2898 Maranatha Court Southeast. I've been there for...
And your name officially?
Ken Coble, I'm sorry.
Thank you. No problem, thank you.
I've been there for 30 years. It's beautiful. Mr. Lillet testified to that, and it is. We love it. We wouldn't want to wish to live anywhere else. However, I'm opposed because I'm concerned with the water that's available, the more homes they put in. For the last 30 years, by and large, it's always been grass seed farmers working there, and as was testified earlier, that takes no irrigation. So my concern is building nice homes, big lots with a lot of landscaping. And as the gentleman that just testified before me, I don't believe that the chemicals they use, but once a year, are any different than what everybody else would put on their landscaped homes. So I'm afraid that once you put the camel's head in the tent, the whole camel's coming. So after 3 homes, what's next? And so that's why I'm opposed. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yep, staff, please come back. Oh, now we've got Brandon. I like it. It's fun. Keeping me on my toes.
All right. Brandon Reich, Marion County Planning Director and Building and Planning Division Manager. So when you've got a rural property like this, the first step is you consider, can it be farmed? And if it can't be farmed, then you next look at, well, what's the best use you could make of the property in the rural area? And so I think there's a route to get to the rural residential use of some of these lots. So the state sets out 3 different routes. They say it's committed to something happening in the future, non-rural use, or it's already developed with that use, or there's a reason, there's a need for it. And it can kind of seem like, to use maybe a poor metaphor, that you're switching gears from one to the other. But those 3 exception routes are as different as 3 different cars. And so what we have today is the hearings officer did the full review as a reasons exception. She considered all the evidence and made all the findings for the board to consider and to take testimony on based on a reasons exception. And the applicant says that there's a way to show that there's a committed exception. Before the board today is not that level of analysis or findings. All the evidence is not there before the board to make, in my opinion, to be able to make that full decision on a committed exception because it's so different than a reasons exception. The board could work with the applicant and people present today, determine which facts meet a committed exception, discuss for us to hear what types of findings you'd make against the committed exception. The committed exceptions, all these are in statute, they're in rule, they're very specific and they're very complex. And there's a benefit to having the hearings officer do that analysis of what's in the record of the evidence So because the change has been pretty extreme from a reasons exception to a committed exception, and the applicant believes that there's evidence there for it, I think there's a strong benefit to having the hearings officer do the analysis by statute, by rule, to consider the evidence and provide findings that the board can review and consider in a public setting before making a decision on a committed exception.
Okay, thank you.
I just have a question. If the board remands this back to the hearings officer to go down that path, what's the timeline, Brandon? How long would they have to wait to get that decision?
We will work with them to make sure it's quickly. In legal counsel, we discussed it this morning. We think it can be a quick timeline.
Give me a ballpark.
Yeah, what's quick?
So we have land use hearings every second and third week. So do we have any scheduled for next week? So we could maybe add one, or we could put it into the second Thursday of February.
And so
there are a couple ways to remand this.
Yeah.
One, we can remand it on the record to date.
Yeah.
And just to the hearings officer without an additional hearing to make findings related to the committed exception.
I think she would need to have another.
You want to have a hearing.
Yeah.
We do need to notice it, 10-day
Yeah.
notice, so 2 weeks.
So
we
it will sounds like it could be either the second or the third week of February.
Okay, can I ask that would be when the hearing is, but then she would have to do her work and.
I would ask her to do it on an expedited basis, for sure.
Okay, but we're still talking about at least a month or two. And then.
Oh, well, yeah, 4 weeks.
I would say 4 weeks from today.
Okay, and then in the alternative, they did raise the irrevocably committed argument at the hearing. So they, it's not that it was never on the record, right?
It's on the record, but there's no, we have to hear today what evidence, what facts contribute to that, and then the board has to make findings saying that this is the evidence we've heard and this is how it addresses the statute and rule in order to be able to say this is how we made our decision today. And that's lacking in the record.
So here's my question, is it says the applicant indicated the proposal qualifies for an irrevocably committed exception to goals 3, and that a goal 14 exception is not required, right? That's in her findings. Is that enough for you to work with the applicant to make the findings that you need to?
I don't believe so. I looked again at the committed exception findings. There's a couple of pages of them. There's some specifics in there that we would need to pull out, and having that analysis from the hearings officer would really be critical.
And your perspective is that they have a higher likelihood of success if we go that route?
Yes.
Okay.
And the board needs that information, I think, to be able to make the decision, to have it before you, what the findings would look like, what evidence we're relying on to make the decision, as opposed to making a decision and then we work with the applicant to try to identify what findings, what evidence is in the record and what findings would match.
I see.
We want to have that going into an approval. That is a better position too down the road if there were any other further actions beyond this county, if there were any appeals.
Do you have questions?
No, I just want to, I want to make sure that we're doing this right, because I'm concerned about the appeals. If that's, I mean, I'm, based on what I've heard, of course, I'll say this out loud because, in full disclosure, it's not going to make a difference on my opinion here, but, in my decision, but full disclosure, I've seen this property. I've been out there. It's behind a gated community, and I heard Mr. Lule talk about, a 20-foot gate and trying to drive a tractor out there. I already see this property, it seems like, but I need to get there. I mean, the things that we've heard here say that, yeah, how do you go farm this property? It's on a slope, it's all the stuff that's there. There's no water for it. It's been homes for, 30 years. And so I want to make sure whatever, and Brandon, I trust your recommendations that we can get this right. But I also probably want to hear from Mr. Shipman again before we take any action and hear his response, rebuttal to what we're talking about here.
If there were an appeal, I think that the strongest position the county could be in would be to have had this analysis by the hearings officer and have findings and the evidence identified and then additional evidence and discussion at a hearing before the county makes its decision, because the board does make the final decision on this. And that would go into an appeal with, yes, we've got all of our ducks in a row completely. Otherwise, there could be the question of what contributed to the county's decision, that then the final document, the ordinance that the board signs, what was the basis for it? What was in that document? If there's not enough findings and discussion at this stage. And an appeal could come back saying, you just didn't do all the steps right. And then you got to come back and do the steps with the same evidence, and you go back and again, you can be appealed again based on the actual content. So I think there's a benefit to being appealed on the content, not being appealed on the steps. That saves a lot of time in the end if that were to happen.
Thank you, Brandon. One of the things that I'm concerned about, in addition to what Mr. Cameron said, and also full disclosure, I've been through this gate. I've been out to this community. I actually can't imagine driving a tractor through that road, so good for whoever manages that. I think we can control the timeline here in this particular setting, and I would like to see this be successful sooner rather than later. And so yes, I want to hear from Mr. Shipman before a decision is made, but I think it's important for everybody to know that while it's in the county's purview and information, our staff, our team are working on it, we can control that timeline by expediting particular things to help ward off an appeal in the future by, potentially the state, who God knows how long they do things and how they go about it, which could be lengthy. So, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I think
before we call it Mr. Shipman.
We're really getting into the weeds here, but before we do, I think based on what I've heard, I know this is true for me and for you as well, protecting our farmland is really important.
Yeah.
And I see this as protecting our farmland. This is a 85 acre parcel, that you have a couple of lots that can't really be farmed. And so if they go this route, they'll basically be protecting the bulk of this farm, right? Afterwards, 79 acres will be protected, and you won't have the conflict between potentially the HOA and the neighboring farms. So I see this as really consistent with protecting farm ground here in Marion County, and my hope is that we could, I just like win-wins. Like, I don't like things where people are fighting and doing unproductive things, and this seems like a win-win situation. So my hope is that, we can do whatever we need to do to make sure that the rules are serving the community rather than forcing the community to sort of serve rules that are not actually doing what they're supposed to do, which is protect farm ground and protect sort of our way of planning communities here in Marion County and in the state. So I guess that's sort of based on what I'm hearing. That's what I would hope we can accomplish here. And I guess the question is just how do we best do that?
Thank you. I do have one more question for staff after listening to Commissioner Willis. So I agree with everything that you said. Farmland is super important to me. My question is in this current zone change application, and knowing that there's going to be 79 acres left over, does this zone change automatically allow the homeowners association to go and develop that additional land without a future application? We did hear testimony from somebody in opposition about the camel analogy, and I think that combined with what Commissioner Willis said, I just would like to know if this application is specific or if it does open the doorway.
Well, it's at the borderline between, the 80 acres is intended to ensure commercial farming is viable. And it's at the borderline between 80, it would drop from 86 down to 78, something like makes a change like, or 84 to 78. So it kind of drops below 80. But being below 80 alone doesn't guarantee something can't be farmed. There's a lot of commercial farming you can do on 5, 10, 15, 20 acres. And it depends on what you choose to do. But that initial step to identify that this is not a farmable property, and because of its configuration, either committed exception in that case, that wouldn't make it, to me, that wouldn't make a difference whether it's not farmable at 84 or not farmable at 78 acres. If it's not farmable, it's not farmable. Now, it could be a question of, if it's not farmable, why are only 3 or 6 acres total committed to non-farming? Why not more committed to non-farming? But that is not doesn't change the door, doesn't change the tent down the road. If it's not farmable now, at any acreage, then you can consider a committed exception for what would be the better use on the property.
Okay, that was clear as mud for me.
Well, yeah,
Just-
Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, so, Brandon, you're just, yeah, you made it muddy here.
Sorry.
The 3 lots are on a potential slope that are not farmable, but
The remainder can be farmable.
What?
Yeah, the remainder can be farmable.
Right.
If there's other reasons it's not farmable, like you can't get access to it, or you can't
Right, so
find
they're
a
not,
farmer.
they're not asking to take the other 78 acres or whatever to turn it into lots. They're,
Yes.
they're asking to keep that in EFU land.
And they have found a means to farm it themselves as HOA.
I just
through-
wanted to
through
clear,
their
I just wanted
That's
to,
what I'm
I just
asking.
wanted to clear that up. It's
So my
it's the 3
question-
lots that are not farmable.
Yeah.
Yes, the question I'm asking is does this application offer a doorway to, without any other applications coming before the county, for that 80 farmable acres to be developed?
No.
This is specific to those 3
This is
acres
specific to the
only.
6 acres.
Or, excuse me,
they're
3
cutting
lots.
off, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Shipman.
Thank you,
Please reintroduce yourself for the record.
For the record, Mark Shipman. Thank you, Madam Chair. We agree with staff. I think a strategic remand back to the hearings officer is appropriate. I don't want to stub our toe with respect to process. And if we can present additional evidence, work with Brandon, work with Lindsay in order to get that in, and work with the hearings officer in order to get tight findings before you, I think that's going to make a better product. And we're talking, 4 weeks. That's not a huge amount of time. So I think that would make a better decision for you, and I think it'd make it more defensible. And I don't want to have to come back and redo that.
Thank you. Any questions, Mr. Chairman?
No, I think that clears it.
Okay, let's do that.
So,
Okay, then. Commissioner Blumer?
Madam Chair, and I've got, remember, I need a lot of counsel, so I'm gonna, I'm
I'm
gonna
super
look
glad
over
you're
here.
over
So here's what I think the motion should be, and then I'll have legal counsel clarify that for me. But, Madam Chair, I would like to move that we continue the public hearing, leave the record open, and refer this back to the hearings officer for further consideration.
Yes, I mean, the refer remand.
Remand back to the hearings officer for further consideration. Good?
Yes.
I second the motion.
Great, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'm going to close the public hearing, go back into regular board session. Thank you, the calendar needs to be read.
It's great to see everybody here today.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you for
love
coming
having
in.
people in the audience.
Yeah.
Come back next week.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna read the calendar today, if you're all fine with that. Look at me. Actually, I put your initial on the top of it, but I thought, I'm gonna whip through this.
All right.
So today is January 12th, it's Wednesday. If you could please take comments out to the lobby area. We're still continuing our meeting. Thank you.
Who's reading the calendar?
I'm gonna read it. I know you couldn't hear me because it got loud in here. I don't want to yell into the microphone. So we'll just take 1 second while the audience clears out. Then I'll read the calendar. Thanks, Matt. Okay, today is Wednesday, January 12th, and we are currently in board session, Senator Hearing Room, first floor, 555 Court Street. And then today at 10:30, or immediately following the board meeting, we have a BOC CAO meeting, executive session if needed pursuant to ORS 192.660, 2A, B, D, E, F, H, I, in the Commissioner's Boardroom upstairs on the 5th floor at 555 Court Street Northeast. And then at 1:15 today, we have a work session on the ARPA grant funding, location Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. And then tomorrow, the 13th, Thursday at 7:30, we have the Kaiser Marion County meeting, open to the public, by the way. If you live out in that area and you want to come talk to commissioners and city councilors, please join us at the Sherry's Restaurant at 4998 River Road, North Kaiser. And then on Thursday at 9 a.m., we have a work session for Behavioral Health Division's requirements and priorities upstairs in the Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. And then at 1:30 tomorrow, we have a work session for economic development update. And we're specifically going to hear about broadband and the Detroit Lake excavation project, hosted upstairs in the Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. And then tomorrow, oh my gosh, it's a long day. 3 p.m., we have the Mid-Willamette Valley Homeless Alliance and ORS 190 Entity Joint Board Meeting, which is virtual. And then on Monday, the 17th at 8 a.m., we are closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Tuesday, the 18th at 9 a.m., we have calendar review upstairs, Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. And then at 9:30 on Tuesday, the 18th, we have management update, Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. And then we have a work session on Tuesday, the 18th at 1 p.m. Solid waste update, Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. And then at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the 18th, we have the Marion County Public Safety Coordinating Council, Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. And on Wednesday, the 19th, we're back here at 9 a.m. for board session in the Senator Hearing Room, 1st floor, 555 Court Street. And on Wednesday, the 19th at 1:15, we have a BOC CAO meeting. Executive session if needed pursuant to ORS 192.660 2ABDEFHI. Location Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. And then finally on Wednesday, the 19th at 2:15, we have an executive session scheduled pursuant to ORS 192.660 2D in the Commissioner's Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street. How is everybody?
Wow, what a day.
What a
What a
day.
day, what a week coming up.
There you go.
Thank you. I'm working on it. Gotta organize my table here. There's lots of paper.
Madam Chair, I just want to compliment you on how you conducted that public hearing smoothly.
you.
Yeah, really
It's
good.
my very first ever, everybody.
Yeah, this is
I'm
the
doing all
best.
kinds of firsts, going down in history.
Yeah. And really appreciate how that all went, and it's always great to see a lot of people come in and testify on their behalf. What's new while you're signing away there?
Yeah. I'm going skiing this weekend. I'm so excited. We're leaving on Friday. We're headed to Bend for 4 days.
Thatcher's kind of like only 70 inches, and they haven't got a lot of new snow.
That's fine.
You pay attention to these things.
Well, I know when I got up this morning, I had my dress shoes on and trying to walk across crusty, icy snow with leather soles on. Kind of a problem. And I was just thinking about skiing. They need some new snow.
Well, they have a snow machine up there. They should get to
Yeah.
it because I'm on my way.
Well, they groom it. I need somebody to groom my driveway so I can walk. Slip on my, you know what. We got some sunshine coming this weekend. It's supposed to be.
That's pretty good.
That's
huh?
good.
Yeah.
Well, you're going, I'm gonna fly south. Yeah.
You're headed south
Oh,
to
yeah,
the sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we rent this cute little Little House on the Prairie type cabin over there on a cattle ranch. And I didn't get to go last year because I was in the chaos of trying to figure out how to live my life as a commissioner.
Uh-huh.
And it really is the kind of reset to my reality.
That's good.
I am really looking, I told my husband, who's very busy with work, sorry babe, you can't make it, I'll see you on Monday. So I'm going.
I'm going.
And I think he really wants me to go, so it's fine.
Sometimes you just need a break from, the grind.
Yeah, I get to hang out with my kids. There's no television, there's no nothing at this place. It's just literally
That's
beds
great.
and a bathtub and a roof over your head. And it's away from the city. And there's lots of cows, but we can take our dogs and just unplug.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
You signed this on the bottom.
So
one.
I know,
we
I'm
had
still
a-
getting used to it.
We had a whole week of AOC. I thought those meetings, the ones I participated in, I thought were very good, productive. We made a couple of changes. Did you notice that in those AOC meetings?
I did notice that. I also noticed that we have a new second vice chair of AOC.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the changes are, but I am the second vice chair of AOC. That was
No,
noticed.
you
by
know,
many.
it
Well,
was,
the chairs
no,
of
it was
the
on
committees
the,
reported out and stuff.
on the
Oh.
public safety agenda. You know how broad it was, and, and we got them to narrow it down a little bit on some things. Changed it from de-incarceration to
Oh, yes.
justice reinvestment.
Yeah, you
right?
did a really good job leading that conversation, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, and Pope was there too, so
Yeah, I love it when he raises his hand. I think, oh, what's gonna come next? And he always does a great job of saying, what did he say? This wording is way too soft for me. And he's not wrong.
So, yeah, last week, and I shared this with you, but I had a really good meeting with Sean Rivera, the forester up at Willamette Forest.
Yeah.
Good things going on there, and, well, not such good things with harvest, et cetera. And then when Chris was talking about the tree, the static numbers on the trees coming down,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they were working last night. I drove home, and it was 4:45, and I was just going through gates, I guess, and it was still light out, and they were still working on trees on the road, on the highway. Still flagging cars until probably 5 o'clock last night. So still things going on there. Went to the Woodburn meeting last week.
Yes, at Metropolis.
Metropolis. Well, I'm gonna let you tell me how to say it.
Do you guys watch Superman?
No.
Come on.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more explosive than a locomotive.
That's it, you're getting it, you're nailing it.
It was black and white when I used to watch it, you know? And the Metropolis, and there was some good things that are happening. Woodburn's opening their service community center, you know, they're excited about that up there. That's gonna be a good resource for North County. And we're gonna get a new recommendation for vice chair of the Public Safety Coordinating Council coming to us, Jane Downing.
Yeah, I'm
That's
excited
gonna be,
about that.
she's excited to do that. She'll be a real asset for that. And then, and this is more good news for you, Shani Starr is now a city councilor at Kaiser.
I'm already working with her on things.
I heard
Shady
that,
Star.
so-
She's a rock star.
And we've got a Detroit Lake Foundation meeting tonight that I just found out about. So, and I think Chris alluded to that. We've got to make some decisions tonight on how's the city gonna take possession, or what is that gonna be looking like for the city of Detroit to move over to the new community center. So those are some things outside of our work that we're doing that I'm participating in, and it's gonna be kind of fun to hear how that all goes tonight.
When's that projected to open? Do you know?
I think they're really close. They're probably within a month or so. Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to be there for the ribbon cutting, so I want to make sure it's on our
Well,
calendars.
we were there for the dig out.
That's
Were you
right.
there for the dig out?
Yeah,
Yeah, we were all there for the dig out,
Yeah.
for moving the dirt. And now it'll be fun it's gonna look cool. I know they're putting a fireplace in the front area, and there's some really neat things that'll be nice up there. Just gotta figure out how to sustain it.
Yeah,
long term.
that's right.
Yeah.
I was geeking out over here on the unemployment rate in Marion County, which is
what?
3.3%. But we have some cities that are unbelievably low. Woodburn is 2.6%.
That's great.
They have, yeah, almost nobody's unemployed.
I wonder what the real unemployment rate is, though, right? I mean, those are numbers that people are applying for unemployment, they don't have jobs, but how many people are not even
In the labor force.
in the labor force, have pulled out of the labor force? I mean, you think about it, a stay-at-home mom now, as somebody who is working is just gonna go, hey, I've made this transition, and
Well, as my wife
stay-at-home
would
dad.
tell you, a
I mean,
stay-at-home mom works really hard.
stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, but they don't track her, and they should.
That's right.
You know, if
Right.
That's right.
if our government was really actually progressive, they would be keeping up with what stay-at-home moms and folks
Well,
like that do.
I think you could do the economic value of all that work, right? I mean, I think that's something that is never in the data, which is if a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad were to have to hire somebody to do all the work that they do, what's the economic value of that?
Right.
Well, I can't afford myself, so I know I couldn't afford
Right,
someone else.
I mean, so I think that's something that we really don't do a good job of, is putting numbers to the value of all the work that happens at home, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, we have to get
All
upstairs
right.
for a meeting, so meeting adjourned. See everybody next week.
All right.
Did I sign all these?